Welcome back to Montana this morning. Across the country, Filipino teachers are arriving on the doorsteps of rural school districts, all to fill critical education shortages. But here in Montana, there seems to be no data on how many foreign nationals are teaching in the state. MTN's Keely Van Mindorp dug deeper to see if the state is seeing an influx of educators from overseas and how this hurts or helps Montana's rural communities in the long run. Good morning, Keely. So how are these teachers able to work in Montana?
Good morning, Victoria. Well, actually, they're coming here as part of the J1 Cultural Exchange Program. This is a temporary opportunity for qualified teachers to come over to the States for up to 5 years to teach elementary and high school students.
And you mentioned qualified. So what requirements do these teachers need to meet in order to teach overseas?
Right. So MTN, through our investigation, we found that districts are using several companies who are recruiting educators from overseas. Now, these teachers must go through an extensive background check and an interview process before being even considered for a job here in the States. They must also apply for a teaching license and also gain proper certifications here in Montana.
And I also hear that Montana districts are able to utilize what's called an emergency authorization to fill teaching positions with local community members. So why have Montana schools chosen Filipinos over local educators?
Right. So these individuals, while they may be local in the community, they may not have up-to-date licenses or up-to-date in state standards for education. So this is also a very temporary authorization. This is only a year for these teachers to teach in that district, and then they must reapply for emergency authorization. Schools must also try their hardest to fill the vacancy before even asking for that emergency authorization. Now, one of the school districts that I've been talking to, they actually do have one person right now that is working under that emergency authorization. They also have 4 Filipino teachers in their district this year, so they're telling me they're utilizing all options, and their primary focus has always been providing the best education for their students. So along with educators, I talked with Filipino teachers and state union officials. I'll have more on what I've discovered coming up in our full investigation.
All right, thank you so much, Keely. MTN Investigates Rural School Recruits airs tonight at 10. Now let's send it over to Ed with a look at weather.